Hi, I'm Andrea, and thank you for joining me on Cooking at Vermilion Lane today. We are going to be making an apple butter brandy pumpkin pie. Let's get started. This is one of those recipes that you can't help but ask yourself, okay, why haven't I made this sooner? It's so easy peasy, especially if you go about my way of doing it, which does not include making pie crust. I go ahead and just pick up a 9-inch frozen pie crust from the freezer section of my grocery store and keep on trucking. Make it a deep dish because this is a really filling pie. So I'm going to go right in with my apple butter, isn't that beautiful? And pumpkin puree. I'm using canned today, but fresh is even better if you've got it. Oh gosh, isn't that pretty? It smells so lovely already. So what we're going for here is 1 cup of each. Then I've got a full teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of ginger. If you've got that sweet little pumpkin pie spice that I see some people use, go ahead and go for it. Just use a teaspoon and a half of that in substitution for the other spices. Now I have 2/3 cup of brown sugar, light or dark, really doesn't matter here. So I like to put in a half a teaspoon of salt to balance all of that sweet we have going on. Let's get that incorporated before I add my eggs. So I had my pie crust chilling. I'll take that out so it can begin to thaw a bit. And now it's time to add the eggs. I'm going to do so one at a time. I've got 2 eggs here that are whole, 2 large eggs, and then I've got just 1 egg yolk. That'll make our custard nice and moist and fluffy, but at the same time hold everything together. So here we go. That's 1 egg in. I'm on a medium-low right now. 2nd egg. And my final egg yolk. And now I've got 1/3 cup of milk and 1 full cup of heavy cream. Again, we want a really lovely silky custard, and this is going to give us just that. I'm going to pour this in very slowly. Again, I'm on medium-low speed. I'm going to pour a teaspoon of brandy in here. And you want to get good brandy. You don't want it to have that overly alcohol taste, because believe me, it will translate into the dish, and you don't want that. You don't want a harsh brandy taste. You want a really mellow brandy taste in the background. So now I want it on super low just to stir that in. Look at that. Now you're going to have a little left over here, and you know me, I don't want to waste a thing. So I'm going to go grab a ramekin. Ah, looks like I'm going to have 2. And that's great because hubby comes home from a business trip tonight. So we will have a nice little treat for 2 when the kiddos go night-night. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Wow, you'd think I'd planned it. So I'm going to drop those to get any air bubbles out. Do the same for my pie, which I slightly overfilled. Don't make that mistake. And this is going to go into a 400-degree oven. Now the pie is going to take anywhere from 50 to 60 minutes, but the ramekins, those are going to be a little bit more like maybe 20, 25, we'll see, just until the custard is set. It's going to be so pretty. It smells so good, and it is like piping hot, I kid you not. So you've got to let that sit out and cool. And I promise you that I was going to wait for my husband to get home so that we could have a movie night and eat our lovely custard. But it was just calling me, and I could smell the brandy, and I could smell the cinnamon, and then there was like, okay, so I already took a couple of bites. Honestly, it doesn't seem fair that you can't taste this with me right now, because it is so light and so luscious and so creamy and so good, and you got to make it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to finish this. Okay. I'm going to stop now. Thanks so much for joining me. Please check out VermillionLane.com for this and lots more recipes that you can print and save. And be sure to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+. I really appreciate your support. And don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up this video. Thanks again, guys. Bye.